Last time on The Ties That Bind, Daenerys, Asmo, and Wolfgang, finding themselves alone atop the Iceforge College after a chilling encounter with the Jester of Bordeaux, ransacked the headmaster's office in search of clues to his plans. Finding sufficient evidence to believe the Archmage and his Vizier, one Ramses Palto, were in danger, they proceeded to the capital of Mitternacht with Duke Blackthorn's blessing. Their investigation of the crystalline citadel of Mitternacht and Daenerys' visions of horror led them to an old mine outside the city. There they found stone which had turned to flesh, and a half-elf driven mad with power attacking the Vizier. Negotiations quickly failed, as the former headmaster of the college drove the Vizier's large fragments of mysteriously powerful gem into his own chest and transformed into an abomination. The battle was ferocious and bloody, but through grit and determination our heroes saw it through, and the cave reverted to its stony origin. With the Vizier saved and the end of their quest in sight, our heroes find themselves alone in the mine, with a thankful new face. So Wolfgang, you just finished having your little vision of white. With the
did I see that inky blackness again?
No, you've only ever saw that when you were dying. No, this time it was just the voice and the white all around you. And the words, "My son, beware," were heard.
Wolfgang takes his hand off the stone.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just saw something strange.
Yeah.
Real quick,
Most
Nick,
believe
what
this...
was it? What was his name again? Sorry.
Ramses Palto.
Okay, Ramses Palto. I thought it was Ramses Bolton. Okay.
Nah, Palto. Well, the Archmage believes this stone to have little to no effect or power in itself. I don't necessarily believe him, but...
Well, he's wrong, yes. These stones are quite powerful and very, very dangerous.
You seem to know quite a bit about them. The face looking at you is rather unassuming. It's obviously cautious of you, but overall fairly warm and receptive.
In the midst of all the fighting, I didn't really get a good look at Ramses Palto. What can you tell us about how he looks?
Well, he's got brown hair, little curly. Seems like he's sort of balding, but it's just thick enough that, you can't, he doesn't really have a bald spot, but he's definitely losing hair, kind of around the middle part. Looks like if he did go bald, he'd kind of have that, horseshoe sort of monk thing. His hairline is definitely receding. His hair is, like I said, brown, probably like a amber sort of brown, little curly. His face is weathered, but not old. He's probably in his 40s, maybe young 50s. He's got a bit of salt in his pepper. Doesn't have much for beard. He's clean shaven. He's fairly well dressed, although definitely scruffy after the incident.
For a second there, it sounded like you were describing the Third Doctor. The Third Doctor, who just with the hair.
I'm not familiar with that one.
He's the one with the big. He's the one with the big scarf.
I am not familiar with them.
See, Nick, it all started in 1950.
I trust you. Now let me continue.
Okay, sorry.
Cutting me off, son. Where was I?
Describing.
Fuck, I completely lost my train of thought.
You were describing what Ramses looked like.
Yeah, you were describing
but
what
before
like.
that.
He was clean shaven.
Horseshoe hair.
Yeah, but no, I mean, before I was describing what he was looking like.
You were talking about how the Archmage doesn't see them as powerful, but
No, I'd gone through that.
And he's
There was actually there was a lull. There was a lull. That's why I asked. You wrapped up that thought. That's why I jumped in there.
All right, well, he's standing there in front of you, and basically he's just sort of looking your group over. So, what brings you all this way, if I might be so bold as to ask? I would be quite honored if it were to be just to save myself, but something tells me that's not it.
Be correct in that assumption.
Would I?
We're
You
supposed
came
to.
all the way from below the mall just to see me.
No, you'd be correct in the assumption that's not why we're here.
Well,
We have a letter to deliver.
a letter. To whom?
Who has that letter right now?
Denier does.
Mm.
I just point in his direction.
Come, my boy.
Denier starts to slowly pull himself up off the ground where he was since the end of the battle.
Asmo goes up and gives him a hand.
You got your ass kicked.
Yes, all on my account, no less. You have my sincerest gratitude. He kind of gestures towards you as if asking, who are you?
This is Denier. He's writing a book. That is Mr. White, and I am Mr. Black.
Roll deception.
But my lie is so perfect. Okay. Sorry, let me just get that up here real fast. Rolling deception. 22.
He eyes you a little suspiciously, but, giving you, a warm smile with it. Well, thank you kindly, Mr. Black, Mr. White, and Denier. He offers his hand out to you to see if you need any help.
Denier accepts it as he slowly pulls himself to his feet. I do have one request, if at all possible, for you to assist us. I hate to be a bother just as soon as we met you.
Oh, of course. I mean, I essentially owe you my life right now.
There's something that we have to deliver, as well as our other tasks.
Other tasks?
Yes, my book. I pull out the journal that I've actually been writing, and I open it up and I show him before I close and put it back. We have a letter of great importance that I believe that you can be of assistance with us with. It's to the Archmage himself.
Well, for somebody to send messages this far north. May I see the letter?
Denier digs out the letter, and he shows it with the royal seal and everything.
A seal from the royal family. My. This is from the Silver Dragon, yes?
Indeed.
Quite interesting. Of course, I would gladly give you an audience if it were mine to give. I could certainly set you up with at least getting the process moved along. There's an interview of sorts to make sure that you are of no threat to the Archmage, to make sure that you're of no consequence to these lands.
Makes sense. Guy's powerful. Guy's important. Might as well curate the bullshit. And I'm getting the vibe from a man who is an Archmage. He doesn't want to be bogged down with the mundane.
I appreciate your understanding, Mr. Black.
Thank you very much. Quick question, actually, by the way.
Oh, yes, do. Go on, please.
So that guy back there,
Yes.
looks like his position's opened up, huh?
It would seem that way.
Yeah. Did he ask you to come out here by yourself? To a cave in the middle of nowhere?
Francis was he was a lot of people's headmaster, and I did look up to him when I was going through school, and when he asked me a favor, I wouldn't decline. It seemed very hush-hush, like he needed some help, and if I could offer it, I would, and unfortunately what he asked was too much, and he seemed too far gone. I fear it's partially my fault.
Did he ever associate with anyone beyond just him as a headmaster? Was he part of any groups or anything? The reason we ask is, if he's like that, anyone who works with him also might be a little bit like it.
He mostly devoted himself to his studies and his work at the College of Iceforge. But, I mean, he had quite a few circles that he traveled in. Even the Archmage himself would sometimes ask him for assistance with certain studies and matters.
How's the Archmage gonna take it that, the four of us just killed him?
Well, that remains to be seen, but I assure you I shall at the very least put in a very good word for you, and for the situation that unfolded the way it did, I'm sure he will be quite understanding.
Well, if he didn't think that those gems were powerful then, he certainly will now when he found out what happened to the headmaster when he tried to get more of them.
Indeed.
Is there a good place to stay in the city?
Oh, I shall make sure that we set you up quite nicely with a good establishment within the palace grounds itself.
Ooh, now that is wonderful.
Yes, Inquisitrix Vileblood will probably be insistent on it as well.
I'm sorry, come again with the name?
Oh, the interview process you'll be going through will be conducted by myself and Inquisitrix Vileblood.
Is Inquisitrix the title or the name?
It's her title, yes.
Inquisitrix. That is Is she also undead?
As well, like narrows his eyes.
He chuckles a little. Yes, she is a vampire, yes.
Man, I'm a cold blood, yet somehow I'm still warm blooded here. It's blowing my mind.
Well, any movement of the blood would make it warmer than hers, I'm afraid. Hell, most vampires around have warmer blood than hers. Don't tell her I said that.
Said what?
Exactly, thank you.
Inquisitrix Vileblood. Jeepers.
Now, I do have to ask, as you are from this southern country, what are your opinions on those that you may call sorcerers? His eyes dart between you, like looking towards each of your eyes.
By that, does he mean magic bloods? Or can I tell? Is that what he's
Sorcerers.
referring to?
He said sorcerers, and basically, yeah, it means those that are derogatorily referred to as magic blood.
Personally, we don't have any back home, back on the islands. But
Deception.
no, I'm telling the truth. You said that there was no magic bloods on the southern islands.
None that you knew of, but you were also a child.
Okay. Do I still need to roll deception, or?
If you're saying back on the islands, then no.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
you're unaware.
Yeah.
Asma just says,
I don't think about them at all. Don't really care. They do them, I do me.
Deception.
that's actually true, though. I'm not lying.
It's not true, though. You care very much for Pip.
Pip isn't a wizard. He's my son. Okay. Natural one.
He doesn't seem to. Change his expression. He just continues his warm smile as he stares at you. Then he looks over to you, Wolfgang.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm biased in this discussion at all, seeing as how he motions to his wings, you know. But I don't think it's fair the way people treat them. Sure, some of them might be ticking time bombs, but I think that's only because of the way people treat them. They don't know how to use it. They need to be taught.
Very well said. But if I may offer you a word of warning, Miss Vileblood will not be so kind should she hear of your true feelings, looking at you, Osmo, about those who are born with such innate abilities.
So in other words, when we walk in here, walk in there, we hate magic bloods. Is that what you're saying?
I'd say at the worst you are indifferent, or at the best you are indifferent, as you were trying to say.
No, you put that on my goddamn tombstone.
Asmo says, adjusting his jacket.
If all that goes well, then you should be able to make it through just fine.
Yeah. We all done here? Want to start heading back?
Oh, please. I am not sure I would like to stay in this space any longer than I have to.
Daenerys, you good to go? You did get...
I've got one more thing I need to do.
Do it up. Need any help?
If he's the headmaster of a wizard school, he's more than likely got a spell book on him. I want it. And Daenerys going to search the corpse, trying to find his spell book or anything particularly magical about him.
While he's doing that, Wolfgang is going to pull out his book of lore, and he's going to start sketching down what this creature looks like.
All right. Just out of memory, go ahead and give me a just general intelligence.
Out of memory, is it not? Is the corpse dissolved?
Oh, the corpse reverted back when all of the blood boiled out of him.
Ah, okay.
You
What was the check again?
Just general intelligence.
Come on, baby. 4.
It had horns and stuff, and
I'm just imagining you do like the whole Rukia thing from Bleach, just an evil bunny with fangs. Oh.
I'll let you combine it with a knowledge arcane.
Okay. 8.
It looks like a cow, what you drew, but it's on like its hind legs, and it doesn't have spots, but it's like, maybe if you drew some sharp teeth on it. Grr.
I think it had bigger claws. I think it had bigger claws. Okay, like...
He's right, it definitely had bigger claws.
Well, we'll get a better picture whenever we face one again, inevitably.
Let's not. How about we never do that ever? How about that?
Daenerys, give me an investigation check to search this body.
18.
All right. He actually doesn't have a book on him. In fact, while you're combing over this man, you notice that, like, he doesn't have, like, anything. He came here basically next to naked.
He left without his spell book.
Yeah, you do, however, on the floor find one of his horns that popped off when you were melting him.
All right. I'll pick it up and I will offer it to Wolfgang. You seem the type to keep this kind of stuff.
I'll at least get a good picture of this. And he stows it away in his pack for later.
All right, you have an abomination horn.
Great.
Ooh.
I'll bet you anything that you know who has the spell book.
Probably. Which is disappointing. Headmaster of a school? No telling what he knew.
I'm sorry, who do you know? This man was, even though clearly not quite the same man I knew at the end of his days, he was still a very good friend of mine.
Master Ramses, I doubt you'd believe us if we told you.
Well,
I mean, he might. We just fought that thing.
I'm a bit more open-minded than most around here.
You ever heard of the Jester of Bordeaux?
I have. Quite the folktale.
Well, he's real.
Is he?
And he is planning something. To what end, I don't know. But I can only assume that he stole the headmaster's spellbook because we found him in the headmaster's office.
He was apparently investigating the headmaster. And if you are a friend of his and a former student of his, I would be cautious because he might be paying a visit to you as well. The man is capable of masking his form to look like another.
Interesting.
Pretty much a guard's worst nightmare.
The
seems to
form
be-
you're familiar with, what does this Jester of Bordeaux look like?
He's an elf. Don't know how old. Wears a mask. Red. Crimson. Coat crimson as well. Wields a rapier. Can't create illusions.
Not many elves left around these lands.
White-brimmed red hat, black feather, red tunic, boots. The boots have a curl in the toe. The rapier has a gem within it. It looks like to be possibly silver or a iron rapier, rather complicated crossguard in the middle of it.
He can turn into mist. That's fun.
He can also
Interesting.
create doppelgangers of himself. He tried to bring down a mountain on us at one point.
Well,
I think at that point he was just showing off.
clearly this man is not to be trifled with.
So, whatever security precautions you have, double them, I would say.
Well, we'll try to keep this talk of this jester between us for now. As you say, not many are so inclined to believe in what they believe to be fairy tales, but
And don't even call him the Jester of Bordeaux. Just call him a very flashy dresser who is good at avoiding guards and has what I can only describe as a uncomfortable bloodlust.
yes,
Seems
we'll
to
keep
have-
it to that then.
He seems to have a particular penchant towards possessors of these crystals.
Mhm.
These. He holds up the one that was once on the staff that he had that's now lying shattered in the room behind you.
That's
Wow.
correct.
He possesses one himself. The gem in the hilt of his rapier.
Quite interesting. Well, should you make it through Inquisitrix Vile Blood's interrogations, I suspect we should speak more on this further. But until then, let us head back. It has been quite a long evening.
That it has. I could go for a rest.
All right,
I'd agree with that.
You guys step back out onto the icy lake and make your way back to Mitternacht. And on your way in, you see a platoon of guards kind of walking around, and they notice you as you approach. All right there!
We stop, I guess.
Yeah.
As they approach you, they begin to notice who you're with. It's the Vizier, it's the Vizier. Master Palto! And they start hurrying up. Are you all right, sir? Oh, yes, I'm fine. These gentlemen here, they saved me from a madman. I must speak with the Archmage post-haste. Please, escort us back, if you would. Yes, sir. And they basically form a platoon around you and escort you back into town and back towards the palace.
I'm getting the ritzy dreaming right now. Damn, I've never felt so safe.
Yeah, you are. In fact, when you get back to the palace, the Vizier is going to go his separate ways, but he bids you adieu and gives them the instruction to put you up in a very nice living quarters, which they do. They give you guys a key and they let you up, and this room is very nice. You go inside. This door is made of pure crystal. You can see through it, but when you step through, or you can't see through it, but when you step through, you can see through like the door on the other side. So it's like kind of like a one-way glass.
So you can see what's outside the door.
You can
not
see
into
outside the
room.
door, but not into the room.
There we go. I love
And
it.
inside of the room is a very well-decorated space. It is made with that same dark iron, that dark metal that you've been seeing everywhere, but it's not as rough as some of the other cities had it. Like back in Steamy Springs, if you ever saw this metal around, it's usually roughly hewn. This stuff is very well polished and well carved. and it forms very ornate furniture. You have a nice table. You have 3 separate rooms in this suite, each with its own bed, which seems to be made of some form of puffy fog-like material.
Asmo kicks off his boots and just jumps into bed essentially with his with his back behind his head.
You sink into this cloud-like structure, but then your head is perfectly supported. You are wrapped in this, what feels to be very warm, cuddly cloud.
Asmo just pours more cloud onto himself.
As you swish it around, it just kind of swirls around you.
I think.
But it will not cover your face.
You know, somehow, this is almost as nice as that hot springs.
It is actually very comfortable.
Asmo suddenly sinks into it. And Asmo's just like trying to rest because he's tired.
One of the better parts of Valor, I suppose.
It's like the best part of Valor.
Yeah, the guard who escorted you up here informs you that Master Palto is going to be meeting with, the Archmage and gathering a council to discuss what has happened. And they will, inform you when you guys are needed. And then he stations himself outside the door closes.
Well, it's supposed to be awfully strange for you, Asmo.
What's
Town
that?
guards are working to your benefit.
When they showed up, when they were walking us in here, I'm like, okay, so where's the jail cell?
And as you're exploring the room, there are a few various things. There's basically what looks to be a opaque window on the wall. And there is a metal disc at the center of the table. In the common room.
Then you're just going to wander over and examine the metal disc just to try to get an idea of what it is, what it does. Is it just hovering by itself?
It's on the table, but as you get closer to it, you notice that as the lights reflect off of it, there are runes around the circumference of the disc. So if you want to figure out exactly what it is, you can do a knowledge arcane, or you can just fuck with it.
Oh, I will do a knowledge arcane. 23.
It appears to be some form of conjuring device, and you assume that if you maneuver your hands over it and you start kind of touching some of the runes, and some holograms start appearing in the middle of it, like little illusions. And as you circle around, they start becoming different types of food. As you move your finger further in, they change to different types of that category of food as you move it out. And then finally, what do you feel like eating anything? As you circle this around?
He'll probably get something small just to kind of test it out. Either that or he'll get some...
Yeah, but what?
Let's say some kind of chicken.
All right, you find your way over to bird. And then you find a small game hen, and then you lift your hand. It starts to vibrate, and the plate turns red. And then with a blinding flash and some smoke, there is a small game hen on there, fully cooked.
This is probably one of the most amazing things I've seen.
Does Asmo smell of the cooked chicken?
Yes. It smells very good. It smells zesty and peppery.
Asmo just sniffs and looks up.
Where the hell did the chicken come from? Did someone show up with food?
I summoned it.
You had the power to summon chicken the whole time?
No. Apparently this thing does. I just figured out how to use it.
Whoa, show me how to do this.
Asmo gets out of bed, starts rubbing his hands, walking towards it.
All right, Denier can teach you how to use it pretty easily. Basically, you move the chicken off that and
what do we got here for meat?
onto another little plate that's... you can find plates in the common room area.
Wait.
Asmo's looking for meat. What do we see for meat?
There's basically you can find red meat, white meat, game meat.
Ooh.
Like as you find like the meat haunch section, as you move your finger further in and out, it does different types of meat.
Okay, so red meat.
That's when it's red meat.
All right, you find red meat. You can get like steak. You can get what seems to be like some sort of large game animal. You can get what looks to be human flesh. You can get.
I'm gonna pass on the human flesh, but this steak sounds good.
All right, you get yourself a delicious steak with a brown butter sauce.
Ooh.
Fork and knife provided.
Well, they're in the common room space. You can find them.
Asmo just stabs a knife into the steak and just starts eating it.
Perfectly medium rare.
Good.
As you're basically just shoveling it into your mouth, you have no way of chewing, but you're swallowing down these bites as they go.
You know, they say a snake shouldn't eat this much, but goddamn it, when the food's this good. Yo, hey, tall, dark, and broody, get over here and get some food in you.
Did you just fucking forget my name?
No, I was trying
to think of something clever to call you.
Keep trying.
Oh, me so.
Let's see what they got here.
I wonder if you can get
are there-
booze from this thing.
Are there any... that's a good question. Are there any stews or soups?
Oh yeah, certainly.
All right, Wolfgang's going to order himself some beef stew, and he is going to...
You're not entirely sure if it's actually cow or if it's like some sort of game meat, but it's... You're assuming it's venison based on the area you're in, unless they are literally summoning cows.
Ooh, I haven't had deer in a long time. Is there any alcohol on the menu?
You're not sure if this thing does beverages.
Asmo just says,
Do you do beverages?
It makes no response. It is a disc.
I'll use this newfangled device. Denier
walks over with the chicken. All right, so here's what you do.
You have delicious lemon pepper chicken.
Yep, and he shows him exactly how to use the newfangled technology.
It doesn't seem to do. This seems to be specifically food, and the only there is a water spout for you to get water out of. You're not sure if that does anything else, but you can get water.
Shite, we need one of these back at the house.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is absolutely fascinating.
If you get one at the house, what point would you have even having Jamad around?
He's a friend of the family. He's not just my servant or my butler.
Oh. He seems to be...
He's practically my second father.
I'm going to be real with you. I don't usually imagine a dad waiting on me hand and foot.
Denier looks at the disc. Okay, disc. 10 to Elliot. And nothing happens. Then he looks over towards Asmo.
Yeah, it just sits on the table.
Nah, wouldn't be good for Wolfgang.
So I need someone at the homestead I can trust while I'm out, doing
I'm just
saving the world.
I'm just giving you shit.
I just hope we can get this over with soon.
Hey, you and me both. It's gonna be a long walk back home. We might have to use that little doorknob thing that was given to us.
I wonder if it would even work like that.
It said you needed a door to shove it in, and then you open it up. So, I mean, might be able to trim a couple days off our trip at least, depending what direction he went.
That's fair enough.
Last place he was in the hot springs. So,
Plus, Tom's is a god, so maybe he can,
Oh God, it still weirds me out thinking about that.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's Denier's first time hearing it.
He's a what?
You weren't.
Oh God, he wasn't there. I just didn't talk about it because it was so weird. I didn't the more I thought about it, the more it fucked with my head.
Tom's a what?
No, he's a god. So is Lush.
Denier just stands there, jaw agape.
Man, the soup smells amazing.
It seems
Pong!
perfectly seasoned.
Just Daenerys' floor mouth just hit the fucking floor.
Like, what are they the gods of?
Well, Lush is the goddess of partying and debauchery, and Tommen is the god of stories.
You mean we've been traveling around with the god of stories?
Yep.
And you didn't tell me?
I thought you knew.
No.
I thought someone would have fucking told you.
It's like you and me, dude. I didn't want to talk about it because the more I think about it, the more I realize, okay, this is a bit fucked up. Gods, that's not good. People die around them or have kids around them. And I'm not ready for either of those two things. Okay. Number two.
No, you're not.
And number two, Daenerys. Like, I don't know if I believe them. I mean, they're clearly powerful, but they could just be full of shit for all I know.
They could be, but I've seen no reason to doubt.
I mean, usually when I heard someone say they were a god, they were homeless and screaming it.
But these are respectable business owners with the weird space bath.
I never saw the bath either.
No, you were
Yeah,
in
it's
that.
like,
You were in the bath, Asmo.
no, I'm telling Daenerys doesn't remember that. Daenerys was not in that. You didn't see the...
Daenerys saw it, but he left. That was when he was experimenting with the Staff of Attunement and trying to teach Pip and Abigail about magic.
Lush sort of got in there with us and explained the entire thing.
Yeah, she's
Asshole just eyebrow bobs up.
Really?
Yeah.
She is very attractive. Very.
When she's not passed out and drunk.
Adds character.
It does make a lot of sense, though.
Hey, come on. What makes sense?
Whether it's godly or not, I can't say. I've only seen the one, and it was incredibly bright.
Yeah, this is why I don't know really necessary, but believe that they're gods. It's just too weird, you know. It's you know, when I mean, dude, a couple months ago I was in jail, and I just got dragged out just because good behavior, because I was misbehaving. Then I got conscripted into this. Then we go to the Capitol, first time in a long time for me, and now here we are up in the castle in the north, across the Maw, and we just fought a goddamn, I don't know, like what an abomination or something. And you tell me that we bump into gods along the way. It's a little bit, it's a bit much for me. Dude, I just feel like I'm on the rails right now, and I'm scared to get off because I feel like it's just it's a big fall. I don't know, man. I just did this job for the money. I didn't expect what we ended up with. But
Asmo looks at his two weapons.
got some pretty good gear out of it, which will be handy for later.
Yeah, but if they would have come up to you and told you exactly what you were going to be getting into, would you have done it?
I mean, the money's good. The money's what I need. It's hard to really say. I don't know, dude. We almost died. Like, I don't know, back in Gold Reach, that stuff really fucked with me. I know I'm not much to look at, or anything like that. Look at me. I'm not a smooth skin. I got scales. And when she made a pass at me, rather than feel good about it, my first reaction was to suspect something was up. And the worst part about it is, I was right. Then I almost kill him.
I just gesture at Wolfgang.
Almost being the operative word.
Hey, get out of my way. It just,
Oh, I got in your way.
hey, everyone was in my way. I was under her spell. Was it a spell? What was it? I still to this day don't know.
Don't really have enough information on the Claritrix to really know what her capabilities are, other than mind manipulation, whether that's magical knowledge or just an innate ability. I can't really say for sure at the moment.
Just all this.
Let's ask her. Pulls out the skull.
No, just all this is a little bit. I just feel so out of my depth. I've just been trying to hang on, you know?
Yeah.
I'm used to fighting in the streets, you know, fighting against other gangs. I'm not used to fighting monsters. Honestly, I'm surprised. I even survived a couple of those fights. But, you know, we're almost done here. Barring any betrayals or anything messed up happening. I really hope we can just deliver the letter and that's it. I really do.
I don't think any of us are going to betray each other, at least.
Now you guys are okay. You're a stick in the mud, and Denier,
Yeah.
you were so nice. You're such a nice guy.
Thank
Don't
you.
let someone take advantage of that. Because I'm already doing that.
Denier actually gives a little bit of a chuckle, and in his mind, it flashes back to the first day they met, when Asmo almost stole the gem from him for the first time. I'll keep that in mind, but as long as you're around, I've got somebody to keep an eye out for me, and you've got somebody to keep an eye out for you.
That is true.
It's a weird
That is
sensation.
Is there anything
I
else you
usually
guys
work
would like to do
alone.
for the rest of the evening?
Sitting here and we're just sitting here and hanging out. I guess we're
Yeah,
just hanging out.
Just making sure.
I would like to do something when everybody decides to go to sleep, though.
What's
I'm
that?
going to...
I don't allow it. No,
Asmo doesn't sleep. What did you want to do when everybody else went to bed?
Wolfgang is going to sit on the floor, and he's going to meditate. He is going to try and concentrate on that blinding white plane of existence. Try and get some contact or some context.
Okay. It doesn't seem to be working this time around.
And that's how I know they're gods. Never giving me straight answers. And then he goes to bed.
Denier, you said you had something you wanted to do?
Yeah, Denier would have, while they were talking, Denier would have cleaned and mended everybody's clothes. He would have made sure that everybody's gear is good.
All right, general
and-
upkeep.
Yeah, general upkeep kind of stuff. He would have written in his book a little bit more. That's pretty much all that he would have done tonight. Just upkeep, make sure everybody's good, everybody's in good spirits, and he's going to get ready for tomorrow.
Asmo, any last minute business?
Are we allowed to leave the place?
Are you going to try?
Asma's just gonna look out the door. Are there guards outside it?
Yeah, there's a guard. Just kind of standing there by your door.
Is he a vampire or an undead? Or...
You can't tell from this angle. You only see him from the back.
Hey, buddy.
They actually can't hear you through the glass
Asmo,
door.
Asmo kind of opens the glass door, like awkwardly, because he doesn't know how to use
when
it.
when you go to turn a handle, you realize there's no handle on this end.
Beg pardon?
There's no door handle on this end.
Asmo just knocks on it.
The guy turns and looks. Yeah, he's a vampire.
Hi, are we allowed to go, or we have to stay put tonight here?
From the other side of the door, you kind of hear,
You stay put until summoned.
Okay, can we get booze?
He makes mention that this is a dry city.
Ah, come on.
What does that mean?
It means we don't have booze.
Well, of course it's a dry city. It's really cold up here. Everything freezes. Where's the booze?
We don't have any. We don't
But
serve it
why?
here.
Why?
It's the rules. I don't make the rules.
Oh my god.
Asmo just turns and walks away.
Good evening. He turns back.
And so Asmo and Wolfgang never came back to Mitternacht again.
There's
Place
Look,
fucking
my
sucks.
liver can't take this relapse.
Asmo walks into the room where freaking Wolfgang is meditating.
There's no booze.
What?
Wolfgang. There's no booze.
Are you fucking serious?
There's no booze in the entire city.
We're never coming back here.
They're having a festival tomorrow.
And there's no booze.
There's no booze.
What are they just gonna fucking rip open some poor virgin maiden and drink her blood in the middle of this town square?
Maybe.
Ugh. This place
Maybe
fucking
that's how they
sucks.
get the alcohol, because she's an alcoholic. I don't know.
Knowing what I know about vampires, would they do that?
I mean, they might not do that.
I don't like it.
How do
I'm
you
going
think-
to bed. Sober.
Asmo,
Asmo eyes the mysterious potion.
No, not worth it.
How do you think vampires get drunk? They get a human drunk and then they drink their blood.
That's
That or
what
they
I
have-
thought.
That or they have fortified brandy.
Ooh.
All right. Well, you guys go to sleep, and you are awoken after a long rest. So take all that back for you.
Wolfgang eyes his jar of basilisk saliva and licks his lips.
I wonder if it's fermented by now.
Daenerys may still have the Anana.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many bottles of booze you guys have bought. I don't know if any of you have any on you.
This
but-
is
At
we-
least
this is why we
3.
need to bring. We need to bring some. We need to bring booze from now. Asmo's like having that. He's waking up without a hangover, and he's like, this is weird. Ugh.
From now
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
all
yeah.
missions are BYOB.
Yeah.
all missions BYOB. You're awoken by a guard who's kind of like standing out in the common room. You're being summoned by Inquisitrix Vileblood.
Okay. I heard she's fun.
No. The guard says. Quite plainly.
Wolfgang will sort of laugh openly at that.
All right, he escorts you guys down after you've, gathered all your stuff and gotten yourself ready in the morning. There was a place for you to bathe and, wash off and stuff like that to prep yourselves. You go down. Basically you're going into what looks to be the dungeons now. Like the area is getting darker as you have traveled underground. It's still made of this crystalline. Yeah, it's still made of this crystalline structure, but the lights have gone a lot dimmer, and it is significantly darker around you as you are surrounded by what seems to be dark lake water.
Oh, we are below the lake.
And as you travel further in, you're led to a corridor basically made almost entirely of this dark metal. And you're escorted into a room. And there, sitting across a table from you, is a blonde-haired woman with crimson eyes. She seems to be wearing like half-plate mail with red leather. This half-plate seems to be made of this dark metal. It's very spiky, intimidating. She's a very attractive woman. Like, kind of in that Gal Gadot sort of way.
Ooh, that's dangerous. Okay.
And she looks across at you. She's got ruby red lips, her skin pale white. And the light source in this room seems to be emanating from a few holes of crystal that are left between the gaps of the black metal that this room is mostly made out of. And standing next to her is Ramses Palto. Sit, the three of you. The woman gestures to 3 chairs in front of 3 stools on the other side. She's sitting in what looks to be like a almost throne-like structure.
Oh boy.
Oh, thank you very much.
Asmo takes a seat.
Wolfgang sits as well.
We will start with your names. You first. She points at you, Asmo.
Asmo. But I go by Mr. Black.
She looks over to Ramses, who nods. And she writes this down on this long piece of paper she seems to have in front of her. You, sir, to Wolfgang, who's in the middle.
Wolfgang, but I go by Mr. White.
Ramses, kind of cocks his head a little. Last name?
I don't have one.
Not you. Points to Wolfgang.
Wolfgang will look up. Look at Ramses. Be like, yeah, I'll give him a look like, are you sure?
he nods to you.
I'll look over right at her and be like, Wolfgang Conley.
Connolly. One of the monster hunters.
That's correct, madam.
And you?
Denier, ma'am. I don't have an alias.
But you do have a last name, yes?
Yes, ma'am. Highwind.
Denier Highwind. What brings you to Mitternacht?
2 reasons. The one is he is writing a book that seems to be that since we were conveniently coming this way.
That's part of your cover, right? So I'm going to need you to roll a wisdom save.
Oh no!
Oh, well, this is good to know.
Wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
20.
You pass it. So go ahead, keep talking. You feel yourself kind of almost feel like you're tripping over your words for a second. You catch up to him.
Sorry. A little bit nervous. You're very striking. But and we were also given a letter to hand over to your boy, the Archmage.
She kind of gives a little scoff, kind of looks over to Ramses. I do need you to roll a deception check now, though, for the first part.
With advantage because I'm great? No. 15.
Ramses kind of looks at you. The book part seemed to be a lie. But there was some shade of truth to it. I do know the boy is writing a book. Interesting. She looks to you, Denier. What is this book of?
The book is of my journey through the north, of the magic that I've seen in these lands, and generally my journey to Mitternacht.
Looks over to Ramses, who gives a nod.
I can produce it if you would like.
Please. She
Denier?
holds out, she gestures towards the table, or the desk.
Denier digs it out, and he produces the book, and he hands the book over to her.
I shall have my staff look over this to see if you have stolen any secrets from our lands. But should they find it, well, they shall return it to you.
Very well.
She motions to the door. A guard steps forward. She hands it to him, and he walks out.
Along the way, we bumped into a couple interesting things, though.
I'm sure you have, she says, continuously writing. Now, under whose authority do you enter our lands?
We were ordered by Lady Tia to deliver a message to the Archmage himself.
I was unaware that Silver Dragon had the authority to allow border crossing on our side.
I don't think she does.
Then tell me, where did you cross?
To the map.
South of Birchwood Creek.
That is where our fortress is, but are you telling me there is another way through?
If you can survive it.
She continues to stare at you intensely, as if saying, answer the damn question.
There's a cave system, a lot of fungal in it. No one ever goes in it because it's like a death trap, but we managed to get lucky and run through it.
Cave system.
Hmm.
To the west of Birchwood Creek?
South.
Southwest?
Southwest, west, south. It's, yeah.
She marks that down. Did you travel alone?
What you mean, like by ourselves or the three of us as a group?
Into this land, did you travel alone? Is it just you three, or were there more?
We bumped into people along the way, but when we left the main city, where we came from, it was just the three of us.
Wisdom check, or wisdom save.
No, 17.
Again, you feel yourself kind of stumble over them, but now I need you to make another deception check.
Oh, come on, baby, come on, baby. 10.
Lie, I'm afraid.
Asma just looks.
The woman stares directly at you.
Do I?
This
do
is
I?
a lie that I could easily tell, too. Who is Tommen? Who is Lush?
What?
I see Asmo lurching every time he tries to say something, right?
Yeah, you can see that he's not talking with his usual candor when he's telling a lie. You can see that he kind of like trips over a word or two and then just keeps going.
Can I insight that to see if something's messing with his mind?
Go ahead.
13.
You definitely think that it's not necessarily out of character for him, because he is one to get nervous in front of powerful people. But you have noticed that it is only when he is telling a lie. And you can't tell if this is just him having a bad poker face or if there's something compelling him. The question. Tommen, Lush.
Yeah.
Who are they?
They are traveling bartenders. They travel around everywhere. They have this ability to create a bar anywhere. It's really nice bar. They just wanted some traveling companions, and since we were going the really dangerous route through the cave systems, they were like, hey, you want to hang out together? Because, separated we could fucking die. So we traveled with them, and then we split up the second we got to Birchwood Creek.
Then how are they gods?
What?
We were the guards for them. They weren't the
No,
guards
how
for
are
us.
they gods? If they needed your help, how are they gods?
You were spying on us, weren't you?
I take my job very seriously, Mr. Connolly. When 3 invaders walk into my city from another country under the authority of a powerful dragon, yes, I pay attention.
They both claimed they are. were listening last night, you know that not all of us are convinced about that. I'm
yes,
skeptical.
But I feel that some of you are. And if we have two very powerful beings walking in these lands, then I wish to know about it. And if you wish to hide that from me, well, that doesn't reflect very well on your character, does it?
That's fair. We travel with two people. Both of them claim to be gods, which I found weird, because why would we travel together? If you're gods, you can survive anything, so why travel with us? You know?
Why, indeed.
Got me.
Now,
They seem the
That's-
type to not like to interfere, if that means anything.
she looks over to Ramses and gives a nod. It is a small comfort.
Actually, he's done a fair bit of good from what I've heard. Back in Steamy Springs a number of years ago, apparently he blessed the hot springs, which brought good fortune to Steamy Springs.
This tavern that they travel with, does it have a name?
Wandering
The
Weasel.
Wandering Weasel.
Wandering Weasel.
Trust me, you'll walk in, you'll know what it is. He makes that very evident.
I don't have time for much frivolity, but I shall have my men investigate.
Just don't have the guards start any trouble inside of the bar. The bouncer is rather surly.
That she is.
Very well. What payment are you receiving for this mission of yours?
Gold. Asmo just rubs his hands together with a big smile, showing off his golden teeth.
No predetermined amount, just here on a courier's mission? Risking your lives for money?
Hey. Silver Dragon. She is money, so she's got a fair amount. Besides, we have no real affiliation. You know, neutral party, so to speak. Made sense to me.
What of you, Connolly? I knew your type were down, but I did not expect you to be but a common courier.
Well, if you've been keeping any track at all of what we've been doing on our way to Mitternacht, you'll see that we've tried to do our best to do great good for the people we've come across. We've averted more than a few disasters on our way here, including the
caused
rescue
another.
of your good Sir Ramses Palto.
Yes, and we are greatly appreciative of that. But in your efforts, it seems that you have caused a slaughter of another town. Is that not true?
Cause or
With your
prevented.
Wolfgang-
interference?
Narrows his eyes.
Birchwood Creek.
We didn't cause that. We did our best to prevent that.
I don't know who that guy was, but he was dead. Dead as the day is short up here. We informed the town. We left. Trust me, I saw that son of a bitch die. And when it burst out, as some weird-ass creature, I stabbed it personally in the back of the head till it was dead. And then we left. What happened after that? How could we be to blame for that?
Well, clearly, you have angered somebody very powerful.
Yeah, I think yesterday we killed him.
We'll get to that later.
Oh.
You seem a very violent person, Mr. Asmo. How close did you come to murdering your friend here?
Pretty damn close. When the Cleritrix did whatever magic she had. It's hard to describe. It's like nothing but her mattered in that moment. Nothing, not even my own life. And she pointed to the thing that was threatening her, and I had to destroy it. And the second I snapped out of it, I made sure she died.
I assume your tome contains notes of this Claratrix. She points to you, Daenerys.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Now, that all transpired within Cold Reach, and yes, you did end up saving a good number of people there from this cult, was it?
Something along the lines of that.
Just a bitter family. Just a bitter, angry family.
Cold Reach has also been informed of what happened in Birchwood, and from what I'm told, they have also increased defenses to defend them should the drow make his way towards Cold Reach. Same with Steamy Springs and Iceforge.
I just hope it'll be enough.
Now, you made mention of some artifacts that you have acquired in our lands. Describe them.
Asmund just shows off the new ring.
Bought this in Iceforge.
I don't think she's talking about that.
Hmm.
I don't think she's talking about that. Stuff we bought.
No.
Bosman pulls up the lamp.
Got this for passing the test at Iceforge at the Magic Academy.
You can see a small smirk appear on her face when she goes back down to writing.
Asmo pulls up the fire ant.
Honestly, this one I actually picked up in that cave.
It was still technically in the south, wasn't it?
No, actually it was in the north. It was in the south technically on that one, yeah. This one here, I got that.
And Asmo pulls up shows the ice gauntlet. He doesn't actually activate it, though.
All right, you pull out.
We had
you
a meeting
pull out
with
frostbite.
With yesterday, I got this from him.
Who did you say you got that from?
I got that from the Magister,
Who?
the headmaster.
Oh, you said Magister. I'm like,
Yeah, sorry, Magic Man.
all right.
The Magic Lad.
Did you acquire it or did you steal it? Was it given willingly? She's waiting for your response.
Ever an answer. We had to have to ask him.
Oh shit, you were cutting out pretty hard there. Sorry.
You'd have to ask him.
Well, I'm afraid that's impossible, so I have to ask you. Now, did you take it from this man, or was it given to you?
I didn't take it. I didn't take it from him. I took it from his room that he was no longer in because he was insane and trying to kill him.
And I point right at Ramses.
We shall hold this bearing investigation. She holds out her hand for the handle.
Let it be known.
Lanswell grits his teeth really hard.
Let it be known that this helped save his life.
And Asmo places it in her hand, but kind of lightly grabs her hand on the wrist, just with his two fingers, and smirks at her.
What's your AC?
Oh no.
Oh no!
Your turn now.
17.
All right, then a 20 is going to hit as a dagger slams through your forearm and pins you to the table. You take 10 points of damage. And she takes the handle, motions to it, like with a single motion, she just takes the handle very calmly, motions to a guard that's by the door, hands it to them. That shall be taken into account, she says as she just continues writing.
Asmo, you really should have learned from when I was shit talking Harish.
Asmo literally can Asmo pull the dagger out of his forearm, please?
Give me an athletics check.
So he's like pinned to the table right now, right?
10.
You slip and deal yourself another 3 points of damage. You actually
Asmo
cut
just-
your arm up a little bit more.
Asmo just literally, with his right hand pinned there, just puts his left hand under his chin and just goes, "Thank you."
My pleasure. She says as she's still just writing very cold-faced on the piece of paper. You, Mr. Connolly, have you picked up anything in our lands?
Let me look.
Don't touch your hand. You shouldn't know like that.
I forget. Was the shop where I... Oh no, I did purchase that as well. Wolfgang will cross his arms and be like, nothing that I haven't purchased.
Roll a wisdom save.
How am I lying?
Nothing that you haven't purchased. The ring, the spell storing ring. You said
Oh
you took
shit,
that.
that's right. I forgot I didn't purchase that. No, Wolfgang is trying to be truthful.
Okay.
So can I break on that?
Yes, I will allow that.
Nothing that I haven't purchased aside from this. And he holds up the ring.
The Archmage's, the Headmaster's ring.
I took it for the same reason he took that dagger. And you're welcome to it as well.
Barring investigation. She motions, another man walks forward, grabs it, walks away. And
so
you.
long as I don't get stabbed.
Yes, ma'am. Denier lifts up the water skin of refilling. This was a gift from the citizens of Birchwood for attempting to save the town. He lifts up the halfling's book. While not magical, this was obtained when we were investigating a murder in Steamy Springs.
Turn that over, please. She holds
He
out
hands
her
it
hand.
over to her.
She sets it on the table.
There's not much to it. It's mostly the ravings of a madman. He motions to the jacket that he's wearing. This was purchased in Coldreach. He then hands over the cloak of incognito. This was retrieved from a this was retrieved from a business in which we were forced to put down the Cleritrix, a magic born that was twisted into something that we've never seen before.
She folds it and sets it on the table next to the book.
And this, he hands over the monocle of true seeing. This was handed to me while I was identifying relics inside of the headmaster's office.
She takes that, sets it on the table as well. Are these all that you have acquired within our lands?
Within your lands, as far as I know.
Wisdom save.
That is as far as I know, because the staff we got in the tunnels.
The crystals.
Oh, I thought that you were talking about magical items.
They are.
Those are magical items.
They're kind of important. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
still stuck to the table in a very awkward.
11.
Yeah, you feel yourself compelled to mention each of the magical gems as you are. That is everything that I can remember except for these. And then you lift up your spell component bag.
He reaches into his spell component pouch. He pulls out the lead box. He turns it, and he opens it. Each one of these were acquired from somebody that is trying to do harm to this country. Apart from this one. I had this one before I entered the country.
She looks over to Ramses. Mr. Palto, would you be willing to hold on to these for these gentlemen? Well, absolutely. Do you wish me to take all of them, or just the ones they acquired within our lands? Take them all for now. May I? He reaches for it. Excuse me. Closes the lid and just kind of like puts them at his side.
Okay.
You can tell he's kind of doing this like out of a sense of duty. He doesn't seem to want to take these from you.
I understand.
You should be warned. There's quite a lot of them in there. They are all very dangerous.
Aside from the headmaster, Mr. Palto here is the reigning authority on these very crystals. I'm sure he is quite aware.
I'm sure he is, seeing as how he got a full dose of what they're capable of last night.
He kind of gives a bit of a guilty smile there and kind of nods like, yeah, I got my ass kicked. Now, while traveling to or from this country, did you harbor any sorcerers? I want you to make a perception check. Each of you.
Okay. Percepción. 13.
12.
23.
Denier, that force that compelled you to tell the truth before, it seems to have diminished a bit.
Killed a resurrected one in Cold Reach, but as far as us harboring
That is
them,
not what I asked.
no.
Asmo says, trying to pull the knife out.
All right, make another athletics check, followed by a deception check.
7.
Well, you failed that, as it's still kind of jammed in there. You managed to wiggle it out a bit, but man, does it
Oh,
fucking
jeez.
hurt.
Can I? Damn it.
7.
She kind of eyes you suspiciously, and then looks to Palto. He's telling the truth. Very well.
Oh, I know what happened. Okay, cool. All right. I was worrying about that.
This last one, and you, again, Denier, you feel the power kind of like come back to you. Or you feel the power kind of like increase around you. Do you mean the Archmage any harm?
No. I'm only here to deliver a message. Nothing more.
And she looks to the rest of you. She's waiting for you all to answer. She's not going to let you out.
I don't mean him any harm if he doesn't mean me any harm.
I don't mean him any harm. As a matter of fact, the only thing I'm really thinking about right now is if you could be so kind as to remove the knife from my arm. I would greatly appreciate that.
She looks over to Palto. They're telling the truth. She flicks her finger in the air and the dagger like flies up. It's kind of hovering in the air right now.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna heal him real quick.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you can reach over to him and heal him as she's saying her, we shall look into the rest of the information and look over these items that you have acquired. But for the most part, your audience shall be granted. Be gone with you. And she
Thank you.
And she hands, actually, Denier, she hands you back that cloak of incognito. She has no interest in that, and yeah, basically gives you anything that you did not acquire outside, like anything that you acquired outside of the Archmage's office. You guys have back on you.
Including the monocle, or is the monocle being
kept? The monocle was in the office.
Ah, okay. Understood. Denier bows and he thanks her before leaving.
They escort you back up. They escort you back up to your room, and they'll patch up any wounds that you had. Denier, one thing crosses your mind as you're leaving. You got away with something. That flesh-covered tome.
Denier doesn't have it. Wolfgang does.
That's true.
Oh, well, you got away with it then.
Hee-haw.
Hee-haw.
All right, you guys make your way. Yeah, you guys make your way back up there, and you can order whatever you want from the service platter. And basically, as you get up there, Ramses comes up and greets you. A little while after you guys get back in.
Yeah, so you weren't kidding. Good God in heaven. Oh.
Yeah, she's not a very fun person.
No, she isn't. God, she's so hot. Oh. God, she is incredibly. No, she's really attractive. And the stabbing me thing, you think it wouldn't make her less attractive? Yeah, no, it didn't change anything.
She's a very hard woman, yes.
I prefer my women warm.
And she is quite cold.
Yes, she is. Good God in heaven. Wait, is she listening again?
Oh, always.
I cast detect magic.
As you look around, yeah, pretty much everything in this room is magic, but you can see that, like, basically this crystalline structure, you're not sure how it works, but you're guessing that it's being used to monitor you wherever you are.
Okay. Wonder if I take a note from one of my other characters here. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ramses informs you, well, I have to go make ready for your audience, and they are still preparing for the festivities. Although,
by the way, how are you going to have festivities without alcohol?
It does get quite boring. I do like to make my trips out, as it were. But the Archmage does insist, as he cannot himself imbibe.
Last thing you want in a city is a bunch of drunk wizards throwing spells everywhere.
Let's say yes, there was an incident some years back that a couple of rival houses got at it and got a little too drunk and blew up half the city, and there were a number of casualties, so we just decided to ban the stuff, and now they are slaves.
Oh. A bit harsh.
Yes. But I am not the one who makes the rules.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. You all take some time to recuperate, and we will send for you as soon as they are ready. And as he walks out, he brushes the door, and now there's a handle on your side.
Oh, now we have a handle?
Yeah, you can come and go as you please now.
No, not the metagame. No, the who has the handle that was given to us by Tommen?
You have a key, and I'm not sure which of you has it.
That would be me.
Okay, Wolfgang has it.
Is there a lock on that door? Can we insert the key there?
No.
Okay, just wanted to know.
Yeah, it seems to be a magical mechanism. There is no keyhole.
There are plenty of doors elsewhere.
I hope we get our shit back.
Likely not.
Oh, don't say that. I want to keep. Man, I want to keep Frostbite.
Well, when you spin it the way that she probably did, we did sort of steal that stuff.
Yeah, from a guy who tried to kill one of the Vizier.
We didn't know that at the time.
I didn't. But, like, this is one of the few times where the ends justify the means, which is most times.
I suppose you're right.
Time passes. You guys eat your lunch or whatever you deign the appropriate meal of the hour. And a guard comes and summons you. The Archmage is ready for you, gents.
I guess we get up when we go. Is Daenerys been really quiet? Is everything okay with Daenerys?
He's been keeping busy. One thing that he has done, he's changed clothes.
Oh, what are you wearing now, Daenerys?
Daenerys is wearing the silk clothes that he obtained from the south.
Oh.
Do we still have our fancy clothes?
I mean, if you packed them.
Asmo did not. Okay.
Wolfgang also did not.
Then again, I did leave the dagger, the sword that we got from behind, and you brought yours. So some of us left some stuff, some of us took it. Daenerys, how's Daenerys been with the absence of the gym since he's been focusing on trying to be able to operate without them?
Funny enough, you are fine. You haven't noticed a shift in your demeanor at all.
Mm-hmm.
You feel normal.
Yeah, Daenerys he's just been sitting, he's been reading, he's been quiet, but he's been changing clothes. He's not acting any different.
Bathing himself a little.
Yeah.
Meh, 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 meh. And the guard will usher you down to the throne room. And here's where we'll take a break. All right, you standing before you, you find yourself atop a grand staircase in front of a large crystalline door that seems to have that same one-way effect. Like, you can't quite see through it. It all just kind of looks like pixelated colors and hues. And you hear a deafening horn blow above you as the door parts. And you find yourself in front of a large, cold throne room. You enter it. It has large cathedral ceilings, very tall, all made of this crystalline structure that you've been stepping on this entire time. And at the center, at the far back of the room, along a dark blue and black, basically carpet that stretches all the way back, sitting in a throne, a large, ornate throne of this massive room, is a man with pale skin, flanked by robed figures, one of which is carrying a staff that has the large bit of gem attached to it. You're assuming this is Ramses. And as you step through and you begin to walk closer and closer, you see this man. His eyes glow with an intense blue magical energy. His robes are lavish, dark. And in his hand, he clutches a regal staff his own, befitting a mage of his caliber. He reaches out to beckon toward you. His beckoning hand, unlike his other, is lacking in flesh.
Oh.
And I shall let you see this gentleman.
Oh boy.
Ooh. Oh boy, we got picture, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Oh man. Skeleton Pope.
There we go.
It's like the regular Pope.
As you approach, you begin to realize some other features of this man. He's definitely gaunt and carries himself. He seems to emanate this dark, powerful energy. But also, as you approach, there's one thing that you can't take your eyes off of, and that's the fact that at the left side of his mouth, on his bottom lip, is this large, bulbous, throbbing wart. Please step forward. He continues to beckon you.
I'm guessing we step forward.
Yeah, Wolfgang steps forward.
Then he approaches.
The man to his right steps forward. You can see that he is a pale man with very, very grayed black hair. Like, it's nearly all white, but you can still see a few strands of black in it. He has a kind of a Van Dyke-esque beard.
Okay.
You stand before the great Archmage, Master Jimothy Blackwort, highest mage in the land. Kneel, mortals!
I kneel.
Yeah, Daenerys will kneel.
Wolfgang will take his hat off and put it over his chest and kneel.
Now you have approached on a very auspicious day. The millennial celebration of my ascension to this very throne. I hear you come bearing a message from your rulers to the south. Speak up.
Come on. Let's...
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I carry the message.
Well then, small messenger feline, step forward with this message.
Of course. As he's commanded, Daenerys stands. He opens his cloak, showing the message before he removes it, and he approaches, keeping the message in his hands, open palm with the message above it.
So
And
it's
he
like
approaches.
flat out walking forward.
He did say to approach, so he is approaching.
Yes.
He is doing as he is instructed to the word.
All right. The Archmage, as you approach, he tells you to stop kind of at the foot of these stairs that are below this throne. And he motions for one of the cloaked figures to his side. Seems the man second to the left steps out. The man that is next to Ramses walks out and grabs this message from you.
All right.
Open it. Make sure that it is no weapon. The cloaked figure nods and cracks the seal. Kind of like holds it slightly away from their face as they unroll it.
Daenerys will stand there to show if it is a weapon that he would not, that he would be willing to take, the damage as well, to show that he does not believe it to be a weapon, so he will stand right there.
Yeah. A feminine voice says, "It appears to be safe, my lord." This is not the voice you heard earlier. It is a different female. She steps over as the Archmage beckons her to hand it to him. Wonderful. Let me read. And he sets his staff down next to the throne, and it just kind of stands there on its own as if balanced perfectly.
Oh,
He
jeez.
unrolls it. Very interesting. He reads for what feels like an eternity as you're sitting there awkwardly. Then he finally scrolls it back up. Are you aware what was in this message?
No, Archmage. We were informed to deliver it, not to read it.
It appears to be a negotiation for a amicable peace treaty.
Daenerys gives a little bit of a nod. He keeps his hands in front of him, clearly visible to pretty much everybody, to show that he is being as respectful as he can.
I have heard of your deeds within my lands. You see, I have been having my minions keep an eye on you for some time, and you have done some good in my lands. But I must ask, how do you feel about them? What do you think of my Nightlands?
I
Asmo-
believe...
Oh, shit,
Go ahead,
for it.
Taka.
Asmo says,
As you can tell, my kind is not common up here.
Quite so.
It's cold and dark. There's nothing quite like this place. Yet for all the cold and dark, there's a lot of warmth, loyalty, and I'll say this, surprises. And definitely will never forget my time up here.
He motions to you, Denier, who seemed like you had something to say.
This place is a stark contrast to the southern islands that I call home, but here, magic is far more abundant. I find myself walking among the streets before being stared at because I'm so different, but here I feel as though because I wield the same magic as the others, as the other citizens among the streets, I almost feel like one of them because I carry the same ability that they do.
We do not carry the sensibilities down south. We do not denigrate by race. We look only for power. And you, Connolly boy, you've been auspiciously quiet.
Forgive me. It's just that I haven't really had a lot to add. But if you ask my honest opinion, being what I am, I would almost assuredly think I was not welcome up here, being a monster hunter. But I've been given a surprisingly warm reception, no pun intended, but these are fine folk you've got.
I would tend to agree. When my master left 1,000 years ago, he left no instructions. He simply told me to take care of this land. I assumed it meant that he would return one day and, well, I intend to keep this land intact until the day he returns. I am his greatest creation. The combination of magic and biology. None have been able to attain this form since me. My master's been gone for 1,000 years. We decided to call it a millennia. Do you like it? That's what I'm calling it, a millennia.
Makes sense.
Yes, I thought so. And in this time, 1,000 years past the end of the war, we can now officially draw it to a close. He looks over to his left. Palto, I shall send you south. You shall act as my ambassador. My lord, if I may be so bold. Speak up. These men, while they were doing their duty in making it up here, they acquired a number of these gems. Yes, those. I was wondering, perhaps as a sign of good faith, we could return those that they have acquired to them. And allow the dragons to have these shards. They're ultimately worthless, but they do contain some power. He kind of sneers, as if pondering to himself. His eyes seem to emanate a slightly brighter glow. Very well. As a sign of good faith. Ramsey sort of like looks down to you, kind of like gives like a bit of a nod. It shall be done, my lord.
Yes. Now, what other business do you have in my lands?
He looks over you.
Wants to take initiative and talk. I don't want to just.
I will.
Okay.
Archmage, my desire, since I have been able to, was to learn magic. And in the time that I've been within your lands, I have learned and I have grown as a magician, as a mage. I have faced trials that I don't think I could have ever faced back home. And thank you for allowing me to grow while inside of your lands, to become stronger, to obtain the power to make myself almost feel free.
This one understands the power of the arcane. Take the knowledge that you have gained and return home with it. Know that should you wish to study more, the College of Iceforge will welcome you.
Denier bows. Thank you, Archmage.
Serpent.
Yes.
I believe your assistance with Mr. Palto requires a reward of sorts. So it is with great authority that I return that which you found within the headmaster's office.
Oh.
A guard steps forward and hands you the sheath, or the dagger handle.
Oh. Thank you very much, Archmage. I believe this is power. And to achieve what I want, I need as much of it as I can. So thank you for giving this back. I'll make sure it belongs to me.
See that you do.
Oh.
And as for you, Connolly, I heard tell of your cousin's passing.
That's right.
You have borne much on this journey. Tell me, what is there something that can be done for you, for your journey?
I don't think, with all due respect, that what I require is entirely within your jurisdiction, Archmage.
The man to his right actually seems to like step forward, but then the mage's staff kind of like comes down and like holds him back.
I suppose that you may be right in that regard. I am
Asmo-
powerful, but
While you're talking, Asmo's going to whisper really quickly, look over to Daenerys and just whisper something. Okay.
Daenerys is far in front of you.
Then Asmo is just going to whisper then, I guess, to...
How did he know about your brother dying? Your cousin dying? How would he know that?
Wolfgang sort of gives a shallow shake of his head, still looking at the Archmage like, not now.
the power that you are looking for may reside only within my master. But unfortunately, he has left for some time. Well, For your troubles, just know that if you wish, you may travel through our borders. We have no fear of your kind up here, Hunter. For up here, we consider none a monster. And those with power are the ones in charge. There are those with and those without.
And then he re-grabs his staff.
Now, in this scroll, it gives the instructions for a summoning circle, a realm gate of teleportation between here and your capital. It will take some days for my men to complete it, so you are free to roam about the city or even head back home if you wish. You may consider your business here concluded and your mission accomplished.
Wolfgang bows again.
Okay.
May we take part in the festivities today?
Do as you see fit. Ramses has spoken quite highly of you. I believe you shall, at the very least, be considered his esteemed guests. For now, we have not only the celebration of the Ascension, but a true ending to this millennia.
He lets the word ring in his throat a little.
Long war.
And with that, a couple of guards stand up.
You are dismissed.
And the Archmage stands up from his throne, and he's escorted back to the back of the room, basically with all of his court in tow.
Daenerys bows as he leaves.
And you guys head back out onto the into the courtyard of the Palace of Mitternacht.
Oh god, that went way better than I thought. Oof.
As you leave, Daenerys, you are given back your book. Not the journal, just your book.
Okay.
And that is what you guys have been, you are now free to do as you will in the city of Mitternacht. As you see people in the courtyard moving to set up for this festival, there seems to be a table covered in those silver platters.
Oh man.
You can actually see that as they are doing this, the crystal is actually shaping to form what is needed. Like this table is actually just a bit of the crystal on the floor that's kind of like popping up. And you have a bunch of robed people, each with kind of like silver decor on the dark blue robes. Just kind of moving around, moving their hands, gesticulating as things begin shaping around you.
Impressive. The power of magic.
Yeah, you continue to wander out into the city as you see all these people around doing this stuff, and then from above you hear a familiar sound as in front of you on a what looks to be a sign for some type of cafe lands that ebon hawk, that crystal bird of Miguel's. And it looks down at you, Wolfgang.
I sort of hold my arm out and go.
It flaps down to you. It cocks its head back in that, like, it cocks its mouth back in that 180-degree fashion that it did the last time it delivered the message.
Cousin, I'm not sure where this thing will find you, if you've made it all the way to the capital yet or not, but, I've been tracking some suspicious drow. They seem to have been heading northward. I'm currently in pursuit, but I fear they are outpacing me. Keep your eyes open. This may be the one. Then the bird cracks its face back down and shrinks down to its miniature size in your hand.
All right, I put it in my pocket.
What did it say?
You heard it.
Oh, I heard it too.
Yeah, it spoke it out loud.
He said drow, plurally, meaning there's more than one.
Well, drow and drow. I think he's talking about you know who.
Oh, yeah. Wonder where he is on the path. He says he's traveling north, but didn't say where. God, I want to kill him again.
I can send messages to some of the folks that we've seen in the past in an attempt to see if he's been spotted or not. I can only get 2 though.
I think that's probably best. I doubt that if the 3 of us didn't stop him the first time, probably won't stop him again until we figure out more about him. The best we can do right now is warn people as best we can. Make sure their reinforcements are up to stuff.
There's the question, though. I'll ask it. Do we head south? Or do we hover around for this portal? Not gonna lie. I'm interested in the portal, but I'm also a little bit nervous being in this town of undead people who stabbed me in the arm.
It'd probably be faster if we took the portal, and honestly, the way you just suddenly grabbed her, you sort of deserved it.
I didn't grab her. I just touched her with 2 fingers. I was trying to be like, oh, I appreciate how attractive you are, and clearly she didn't. And
Yeah,
that's
in
fine.
our position, that probably wasn't the best call.
I'm charming.
While Daenerys
charming.
is sending these messages, feel free to make a perception check, each of you.
17.
It just says, I'm charming.
I'm
G.
Wolfgang, you?
But that's gonna be a 9.
All right. Asmo, as you're looking around, you see the normal folk just kind of walking around, leaving their...
Sorry, you cut out on my end? I'll
all
reload
good.
myself back in. I'll jump out, go back in. Say what you're saying.
Asmo, as you're looking around, you're noticing, just having this casual conversation. You notice, the people just walking around. You're seeing the casual blue footprint, red, or casual blue footprint. Sometimes you're seeing some pink ones. You notice, though, there's actually a trail of black footprints as well, which is a race you haven't seen yet.
Can I look at what is making those? Oh, I guess
you
I
don't
I guess I
notice.
didn't see. Yeah, I didn't see that. Never mind.
Yeah, you and Asmo are just talking about how he got stabbed in the arm. Asmo, you just
Hey.
noticed it. It looks funny.
Hey, take a look. Now we all got our colored feet. Here, you can tell what someone is. Ah, take a look at the black one. How about that?
They seem to be fading as leading in a certain direction down the street.
Oh boy.
Asmo turns to the 2 of them real fast. Asmo starts walking down the path.
All right. You begin walking down the path, and you find yourself on a busy thoroughfare. You can still kind of see the trail, but it is cluttered with people preparing for this festival. And you kind of lose sight of them as they begin to fade away, unless you can roll a proper survival check.
Survival, you say?
Yep, tracking footprints.
Natural 1, double nat 1.
Yeah, as you come around the corner, you are face first into a bucket of what you're not entirely sure, but it's kind of... It might be blood. It's probably blood. Yeah, you
my
got
God.
a face full of blood in this bucket.
I got red on me.
You got red on you. So Wolfgang, you see as Asmo just starts kind of like looking like, hey, what's that? And he starts turning a corner and bam, face hit with a bucket. Now it's on his head. He's covered in blood.
Ah!
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, this is not good. There's a lot of vampires around here.
I mean, Palor.
Yeah, there's a as you take the bucket off, you see that there's a very angry man with a white chef's hat looking at you.
Hey, I apologize, sir.
Takes his bucket, puts it under his arm, and starts walking away. Holiday with these.
I saw, like my feet are. Anyways,
He just like shakes off the blood a little bit.
okay, so if I'm yellow, you're white.
Denier was red, right?
No, the elf was red.
The elf was red.
Black is a drow. That just makes sense, right? If he's here,
How many sets of footprints did you see?
one.
Yeah, as far as he knows, it was just one set. Walking on a path.
Where did you see it heading to?
I point the way I saw it heading.
Yeah, it's going down. It's going down this main thoroughfare here.
It's going down this way.
Alright.
Got blood all over me.
Well, let's see if we can find this guy.
Denier.
Yeah. Denier, meanwhile, while you've been sitting back here casting, a familiar face approaches you. You see Ramses Palto. Oh, hello. Sorry, you all left in such a... Everything's just so, hectic today. I forgot I needed to give these back to you. And he hands you, very discreetly, he hands you your lead box.
He'll take the box, put it back into his pack. Just to give you a heads up, apparently there's drow heading to the north. I'm in the middle of letting Ice Forge and Steamy Springs know in case there's the drow that took care of Birchwood may be on their way further north.
Well, that is news.
Speaking of which,
I shall inform the town guard, although...
speaking of which,
Oh, sorry.
you would probably know this, well, over anyone here. We got these footprints, on the ground.
Oh, yes.
What does black mean?
Well, I do believe that does correspond to the drow. We don't get many in this town, though for the celebration, it's very possible that some have tuned up to, well, celebrate, cut loose a little. They're very high-strung people. Speaking of high-strung, the, elves, when you entered our city, you were accompanying one, yes? Mr. Fezziwig Greenspire.
Yeah, he had an audience with the Archmage as well.
Well, he was set to perform at the festival, yes. He seems to have gone missing. Would you know anything about that?
No, we split up as soon as we got into town.
He went missing.
Yes, I'm afraid he managed to
Asmo
slip
seems really
away.
intense right now. Like he's like, when?
It seemed I was not privy to it, but it must have been some time in the past 30 hours or so. Not sure if it was while we were out doing our thing, or if it was later than that, but he gave the slip to somebody and he left. If you find him, would you kindly direct him back? He's
We'll
under
be on the
no
lookout.
necessary life or death obligation to do so, but it would certainly shine kinder on him otherwise.
What do you mean, life or death? The way he said it, he sounded like if he didn't come before him, he would be killed.
Oh, he just needed to be within the city by that time, and his contract was absolved due to him being here by that allotted time. But I guess we should have been a little bit more strict with our contract.
Can I ask you a quick question, actually?
Absolutely.
Why did you bring him up here? Is he just really a well-known actor, or?
Now, we've heard tales far and wide of his skills with song and poetry, and this being a large celebration, he used to travel with a very celebrated troupe
as far as I'm aware.
Where
But-
does he hail from?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. He's been a bit of a vagabond as of late. I'll have to look that up for you.
Huh.
But if you are to come across him, please let us know. We have our guards stationed keeping their eyes out for any full-blooded elves, but an extra set of eyes, especially ones as capable as yours, would always be appreciated.
Where was he last seen?
Well, he was last seen at the palace, of course.
He went missing in the palace.
He went missing from the palace.
Osmo starts, like, the eyes start shifting.
Thank you very much for telling us. We'll keep our eyes open.
Absolutely, and your assistance is appreciated. Now,
Of course.
please, enjoy the celebrations. Don't feel too obligated. Your mission here is, of course, done. Just thought I'd pass that on if he was a friend of yours.
I have a couple questions about the summons specifically.
Oh,
So-
absolutely. What can I help you with?
I'm aware that the summons comes with a additional constraint. When the contract or the summons is alleviated, can you tell if, say, for example, the person in question has that particular added bonus, so to speak, along with it? Or could somebody say, take the contract, mimic Fezziwig, and then get into the city and present the summons?
Well, anything is possible with the correct amount of magic, though I will say these are a design of my own creation. I can't imagine anybody with skills enough to circumvent these measures. Besides, if the person were to part with their original contract, they would, well, cease to be.
Asmo, when did we pick up Fezziwig?
We picked him up when we were halfway from Steamy Springs to Ice Forge.
And we continued after we left Iceforge, correct?
Yes.
What are the chances that the jester got a hold of Fezziwig, took his contract, mimicked him, and then rode with us the rest of the way?
Well, I can tell you, at least from my position, that the contract was intact upon reaching here, and it did not seem to have shifted hands, but if you believe some magic powerful enough to do this, then
Powerful
that
enough
is a
to,
grim situation.
I'm just
powerful enough to mimic.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
We saw when we.
Discord.
headmaster.
Oh, headmaster.
Sorry, you guys all cut out for me.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Fezziwig leaves.
Asmo starts putting in his head. Fezziwig leaves. Coldridge, because he absolutely has to be back in time, right? Fezziwig leaves. That's also when his brother is. That's also when the cousin
Wolfgang's
is killed.
Yeah.
We bump into. We don't see Fezziwig in Steamy Springs, but we see the Jester of Bordeaux.
Yeah, outside of Steamy Springs.
Yep. Halfway from Steamy Springs to Iceforge, we pick up after we leave the after we leave the small side tavern, we pick up Fezziwig. We get to Iceforge. We split up with Fezziwig. We then see the Jester of Bordeaux a few hours later, mimicking
Headmaster.
the headmaster. He leaves. We bump into Fezziwig downstairs, who's having a drink. And we get here to town.
At no point have we seen Fezziwig and the Jester in the same place at the same time.
Same could be said for Hackless, though.
Denier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Message Fezziwig.
Did you already send to those other two people?
I did. I can do it. It's going to take a couple hours for me to recover my spells, but
this. The same kid we said for Hackless, but Hackless didn't go missing in the goddamn castle. Sorry.
Well, I'm sorry to have put all of this on you.
No.
I shall inform... I shall inform the guards. They will be very well abreast of the situation.
You might have a shapeshifter on your hands in your castle right now.
Asmo says. Just
Well, I assure you there are countermeasures for such a thing. But I shall keep my eyes out nonetheless. Regardless, please do enjoy the festival. I am sorry to have put this on you. And I'm sure we will see more of each other down south.
That's right. You're going to be coming back with us.
Yes.
This is...
I'll be overseeing the teleportation circle construction personally.
Will that be a one-time use, or is that going to be like back and forth for both of you?
Well, I believe it's meant to be something that we will connect the two cities. Hopefully permanently. But, of course, you never know how these things will pan out.
Shall I send a word as soon as I can that we've reached this agreement and that construction is being made?
Oh, word is being sent as you speak. Do not worry.
Wonderful.
Now, please enjoy the festival. He kind of like bows to you. I have many duties to attend to, and walks off.
I don't like this. Oh, I don't like this. Why did Fezziwig disappear?
I don't like it either.
I have an idea. All right, so I may have something that might be able to be of help to us.
What's that?
Here's what I'm thinking out of character.
okay.
If Fezziwig is the jester, then we could send the jester a message treating him like Fezziwig. If he responds as Fezziwig, then we would have confirmation that Fezziwig is the jester.
How would we do that?
Sending. You just have to send. You just have
Is
to
that
know
how the
somebody that
sending
you're
spell
familiar.
can actually work?
Well, if Fezziwig is the jester, then he'll get the. All right, so I send a message to Fezziwig. It goes to Fezziwig. I send a message to the jester. It goes to the jester. If Fezziwig and the jester are one and the same, they'll both get the message. That way, if I send the message to the jester, acting like we're sending a message to Fezziwig, then he'll get the message. He'll think I'm talking to Fezziwig and not the jester, and he'll respond as Fezziwig.
That's fair. You would
Is
open... Okay.
Is that something actually we can do in universe? I don't.
Oh, you can absolutely try to send a message to the jester. I'm not going to say what kind of repercussions might come from that.
Oh. It's your call.
Well,
And
I can't do it yet.
you still have to recover the spell slots anyway.
Yeah, just an idea.
All right. So what is your plan right now? You know that there is a drow walking around somewhere.
Asmo's gonna let's walk out. I want to go find the drow. I thought that was interesting. So Asmo's gonna
Well, besides that, we should really go try and find that drow. Just in
Probably.
case. Hey, haven't been had a bad run of them lately.
Big festival, a lot of people in a crowded area. Who knows what would happen?
Yeah, so let's go not cause a ruckus, because look at me. I look like a delicious snack right now to these people, probably.
Don't worry.
So how do you want to track this drow?
We'll keep walking the direction it was walking, I guess, and see if we see any of the black footprints.
Okay. You gonna ask any people around or anything?
Beg pardon?
Are you gonna ask any of the people that are in this busy street if they've seen anybody?
Honestly, yeah, yes. Asmo, drenched in blood, goes up just while we're walking along. Are we all walking together? I'm assuming, yes?
Assuming you're staying in a relative group, at least within, earshot and eyeshot of each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, excuse me. Just tap on someone's shoulder.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation as you are gathering this intel.
That is a 16.
Okay. Anybody else want to?
Sure.
I would like to investigate something else if possible.
Okay, but let's start with this.
Yeah.
That's a natural 20.
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
Asmo, you found somebody that found some shady guy that was walking around, but Wolfgang, you find a guy that will basically tell you, oh yeah, I saw one of those dark elves. He's basically just talking about it to a group of people. Oh, strange! You don't see them around very often. And when you ask him where he went, he's like, oh, I went down that way, down towards the warehouse district. Seemed like he was in a bit of a hurry. Bit of a business to take care of. Denier, what did you want to have while Wolfgang's having this conversation?
Denier's asking about the crystals that everything's made out of. Most importantly, he's asking if there's a way to obtain a part of some of the crystal as a souvenir.
All right, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okie doke. Let's see. Investigation. 20.
You're actually able to acquire a snow globe with a bunch of the fractaled crystals inside. Oh. And when you shake it, the crystals pulsate little different colors as they sprinkle down. And if you touch the ball with your hand, it leaves a print there in the color of your species, in your case, green.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I like that. And it's going to be useful later on.
And Asmo, the guy that you were talking to, just said that they saw some shady dude walking around, seemed to be leaving black footprints, probably who you were talking about, but didn't really have much info as to where they were going, other than, further down. So I'm guessing you all reconvene. Denier has a snow globe that he's playing with.
Yep.
You find a quiet, cafe area next to an alley.
We found out where he was, where he's headed.
Oh, should we go there?
I suppose so.
If it is him, oh God, if it is him, as much as I want to fight him, oh God, I'd love to kill him again. Probably tell the guards. Oh God, can't believe I'm that guy now.
Asmo almost can't believe it.
Asma, what are you holding?
I mean, Asmo. Damn! Denier, what are you holding?
Denier, what are you holding?
It's a snow globe.
Okay.
Check it out. You touch it, and it, you know how the crystal makes those colors whenever you walk down the street? If you touch it, it makes that same color. He touches it.
When Denier touches it, it turns green. It looks like it's raining leaves down onto this miniature depiction of Mitternacht.
Asmo grabs it.
Now it looks like it's raining yellow snow.
Well, I guess now we can tell what race someone is when they touch it. That's handy.
Asmo thinks.
It's very handy. The jester is an elf. Not bad. Not bad at all.
You now have a racist snow globe.
Thank God. Finally, it's just like 1935. Alrighty,
all right, but we gotta go, Denier. Come on. We gotta go.
This takes a snow globe back and follows along.
All right, you begin following the directions that the person began telling you as they started heading down towards the warehouse district. It's starting to get a little quieter out here. There's not as many people. Some people are bringing some wagons up full of supplies from the warehouses. But you can make a perception check, each of you.
Okay. Oh, boy. Oh, sweetie. Natural 1.
6.
19.
All right, good for you, Wolfgang. You see off in the distance, you see a pair of black footprints starting to fade as they go into an alleyway leading further into the warehouse district.
Wolfgang will follow.
All right, Wolfgang, you pointed out. Everybody starts going along with it. And as you get further in, fewer and fewer people are about. It's kind of dark. This place isn't as well lit as the rest of the city is, as it's preparing for the true festivities to begin. In fact, off in the distance, you start hearing some fanfare playing on trumpets. You hear people like laughing and cheering very loudly out there. And as you turn this corner, you think you see a drow through an open doorway, like a cracked door in this one warehouse near the end of the alleyway that you're looking down.
Wolfgang will walk up to the door.
Do you approach with stealth or just in general?
I'll summon Requiem, but keep it behind my back. You know, like the Hitman.
Okay.
I swap out my red cloak for black as we're approaching.
All right, so you go ahead and roll stealth.
Okay.
Asmo.
Double nat 20.
Yeah, you are in the shadows.
Asmo is gonna stealth as well. And man, with all these nat ones, I'm just
Can we make it a third?
Let's see.
10.
You're being kind of sneaky, but you're not as hidden as Denier. The yellow of your scales is kind of visible and for the most part, but you're able to approach the doorway without being noticed for the most part until Wolfgang kind of comes into vision. You can kind of see this drow. He's under this like shrouded sort of. It looks kind of like an arched shroud over him of like material, like hemp-like rope material and stuff like that. And he looks dead at you. Oh, hey. How are you?
It's been a while.
Yeah, your friend's here. Oh, yeah, there. He points at Asmo. Hey, waves at you.
Hi, you.
Is it you?
Yeah. Hey, you remembered. That's nice seeing you again. How you guys
No.
doing?
Oh, you know, alive and kicking, much like you. Quick question.
Uh-huh.
How'd you come back to life?
He can't say.
Yeah, thank you. He points at you. Is your other friend with you?
No.
Can't say.
I see what you did there. That's great. All right, well.
If he is here, I hope he, if he was here, he'd probably run to the guards.
Denier, can you see him where you are? Like,
I would've-
have you walked forward to kind of like look at him?
Probably. At least I can hear him.
Okay.
I would have after I switched over the cloak and pulled up the hood and everything like that. I would hide nearby.
All right. Well, 2 out of 3 is all right.
What did you do in Birchwood Creek, you sick fuck?
Oh, killed all of them. I need you all to make a charisma save.
Oh, fuck. Oh, boy. 7.
5.
22.
Asmo, Denier, nothing's changed. You're still kind of like looking at him. Wolfgang, Denier and Asmo are no longer next to you.
Oh, shit.
Huh. You're pretty good.
I cast True Strike on him. What did you do?
You notice that when you cast it, it doesn't seem to go off. As he begins to like walk, he kind of disappears for a second and comes around a corner. Hey. And now you see the wall where he was standing, but now he's like around the corner. Wolfgang, Denier, Asmo, you see him kind of like walk away from you guys. And now you're just kind of staring at a wall. And as you turn, you're not in the alley you were in before.
The hell just
You're
happened?
you're just in a pitch black fog.
Son of a bitch.
So I'm just in a.
Yeah, there's a pitch black fog. You're not in the dark realm or anything like that, but you are. All you can see is just out this window that you're looking through now.
What the?
Did I hear Asmo say "son of a bitch"?
No, you can't hear them.
Can I move at all?
Oh yeah, you can move wherever you want away from this window, out to the side. There seems to be a vast stretch of nothingness before you.
Where the fuck are we?
We'll go back to you guys in a sec. So, yeah, I figured that wouldn't work on all of you, but did the job, I guess. Oh, hey, your cat friend's there. Awesome. Whew. Saves me a lot of trouble.
Where the fuck are they?
Oh, don't worry, they're fine. Need you to come with, though.
Why? Why would I ever come with a mass murderer fuck like you?
Can't say. Oof. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw now, as you feel a number of darts tip the back of your neck.
17?
You feel very woozy. You drop down to one knee, but you're still awake.
Bastard!
You are quite good at this.
Doing all my life, dealing with the scum of the earth.
All right. He kind of like waves into the air. A net falls on you.
I shouldn't laugh at that, but
No save against this, I'm guessing.
You're in a net. I mean, you can obviously struggle against this, but you notice that you are now surrounded by 4 other drow. And there are 2 more back by the hempen material. They're removing it. It appears to be a mirror that they were in front of, and now they are bagging that up. Asmo, the window that was in front of you is now relatively opaque. Same with you, Denier.
are we in a mirror universe?
You're in a mirror.
What the? Astro starts banging on the glass. Anything?
Nothing.
Oh,
Can I see them?
No.
Hmm.
It just looks like a
happened.
regular fucking mirror to you.
the fuck just happened? Can I see Denier, or is it just am I by myself?
You're with Denier, but he's still 100% stealthed.
Denier! Hello?
I'm here. Stop screaming.
Ah! Shh. What the hell happened? We were there 1 second, and now we're like in a void. Void.
Yes. Wolfgang, there is now a net on you. You are surrounded by like 4 other drow. Look, you can come alive or not alive. That's your call at this point.
Cheeky bastards. Fine. We'll do it your way.
All right. Put him in the bag. And then you're shoved in a burlap sack. Wolfgang, you like as this poison is still kind of coursing through your veins, you're a bit loopy from it, but you can still kind of like hear as you're loaded onto a wagon like a bag of onions.
I'm guessing it's not a special bag. It's just a burlap sack.
Yeah, it's just a burlap sack, and you're inside a net inside the sack. And you start to hear the sounds of the festival fade away as this cart begins moving. And you are carried away, and you can either fall asleep or talk to you if you want.
So,
Yeah.
have anything planned for the festival?
No. Just this was my day.
You were here for us.
Yep.
Oh. Now it's starting to all make sense once you answer truthfully.
I have never told you a lie.
You have beaten around the fucking bush a lot, though.
There are things I can and cannot say.
Can I woozily make an intelligence check to see if that's some sort of curse?
Yeah, knowledge arcane with disadvantage.
Hey! 9.
Does not, like, you don't think, like, it could fucking be, but man is, like, who knows with this guy? You don't know a lot of drow. This is the only one that you've met that acts this way, though. Of course, he's also the only one you've ever seen come back. He's the only one you've ever met twice.
Against your will or no?
Oh, no, I have full control over what I do.
So you're just beating around the bush just to fuck with us, then?
No. This is nice. I don't get to talk often.
You're making it.
She's just like, you're a good friend.
And you're a fucking bastard.
Probably.
Murdering an entire town full of fucking people. You're a right bastard. You bastard.
Probably. Yeah.
You're gonna pay for that, you know.
We'll see.
Where are you taking me?
Can't say.
Where have you taken Denier and Osmo?
Can't say.
Showing me fucking patience.
Quick question: what does you actually look like? It just looks like a regular drow with regular hair, like nothing really elaborate about him.
He looks fairly young. He has some scars on his chin, like it looks like a very deep cut. He also has a new scar across his neck.
All right.
Yeah. He has very like kind of shoulder length white hair that he keeps very well groomed. It's combed back. His eyes are kind of a dark gray. And his irises are, well, the whites of his eyes are black and his irises are a dark gray.
Was I bound before I was thrown in the sack?
You're in a net.
Oh. So I still got full use of my hands.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm gonna get myself out of this sack now.
I wouldn't if I were you.
Relax. I ain't getting out of the fucking cart. You've got my friends.
Oh, no, I meant I wouldn't get out of this sack if I were you.
Make a perception check.
12.
You, like, it's barely there, but along with the kind of like rolling of the wheels of this cart, you can hear the stretch of a bowstring.
Your friends.
Kinda, I guess. I don't know.
They speak.
They choose not to. They don't have my candor.
Jesus.
Hey, you out there? You're fucking bastards too.
You take 12 damage as an arrow pierces your ribs.
They won't hesitate to kill you.
You feel the pressure in your ribs relieve as it seems like you is pulling the arrow out. I do need you to make another con save, though. With disadvantage, this
13 or
yeah,
11.
either way, 13 is you kind of black out.
Broken. Shit.
When you awaken, you get a bag pulled off your head, and meanwhile, Asmo and Denier, no time seems to have passed. You plop into this room next to a bloodied Wolfgang.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, I was wanting to ask to see if I could do something while we were in trance.
No time has passed to you.
Fair enough.
After I said void, all of a sudden we just land.
Yeah, void. Fuck! Yeah, you fall flat on your ass.
I
As
immediately
you
get
look-
up and pull my daggers out.
All right, you pull your daggers out, and as you look around, you see a room full of drow standing like around you, like kind of behind you, or they're standing in front of you and above you. They're on like this almost sort of like theater-esque balcony, as there are probably dozens and dozens, maybe even 100 drow just staring at you and holding arrows at the ready. You can hear, like, the symphony of their bowstrings is just...
Storm Asmo.
Yeah, good. Alan just drops his weapon and says, all right. We're all enemies here. You're all enemies
And
here.
as you start to make sense of the room, you look around, and at the head of the room, as your eyes adjust to this darkness, you see a man sitting in a throne, his feet aloft over a drow, just sitting there with his feet up over this drow. This man, his flesh is this opaque smoke, this black smoke. And yet, at the same time, through it, you can see his skeleton. Why isn't this working?
Oh, we can hear the music a little bit. It's very quiet.
Well, no, I'm trying to show you guys a thing. 1 second.
You're also kind of cutting in and out. Maybe your connection is lagging a little bit.
There we go.
There we
Oh
go.
my god.
You see this man sitting in a chair in front of you. His flesh, this opaque smoke. His hair seems to be made of the same material, just white. He dresses himself in a very loose, dark robe, and through his flesh, you can see a luminous skeleton. His eyes, this swirling pool of what looks to be galactic proportions. His eyes look like little miniature galaxies. He sits resting his legs upon a drow who dutifully sits there with absolutely no problem with his station. So, you're the assholes who broke my bone lord. And this is where we will end today's session.
Ah!